Hello everyone, welcome to Gelvin Valley, created by Wild Wild Wes. Well, we are right on the cusp of planting our fields, and I don't know what's got over me. I know I'm still in financial difficulty. I have a crop I haven't sold yet because I'm awaiting prices to rise, and here I am dreaming of more real estate. And I've looked at some of the prices, and I think the ones I want to try to get are, just looking at the prices for it, field 21, let me see here, I got it on a list. Or maybe I should do them in order. 12, which I think is 74, 550. See, this one up here is 186,000. That just doesn't look like that this up here is more than double that, does it? The 21, yeah, this one up here is 39,300, and it seems like with these two parcels, yeah, you got the river in the middle of it, you have a good chunk here. This one is 74, yeah, maybe it's about half, I don't know, probably depends on how we till it up. 23, I was thinking of this one over here, it's 55 and a half, 55.5. And you know what that almost looks like? It's approaching this one here. 24, and that one wasn't on my list. I don't remember what that one was. I think quite a bit higher than this over here. 47, I think this is on a fairly sharp hill. It's kind of over here by our sheep. And it is 32, 32,400. And see, that even appears to be an even better deal than this here, which is 74. So I don't know, there's 4 fields I'm considering picking up, and the grand total of them is about 200-ish, just over 200. You see what I have in the bank, so I need more than 200 to get it. So I really need to go into the bank here, and let me see, here we go. I'm already maxed on my line of credit. I don't know how it let me have 280 when... Oh, is this the maximum loan that it'll let me have? Ooh, well, maybe it won't let me do what I want. I was thinking of getting 500 and then rounding out sheep, getting quite a bit more, just so we can have more production coming. And you notice it gives me, let's see here, 12 days, 7 days for 100,000, 12. See, what I need to do is get a couple, oops, I don't know what up that high. Oh, wait a minute. 30 days, interesting. Oh, it's changing the days on me. 30 days. If I take the one off, does it leave it at? It does. Now, if it lets me take out the loan, 6%, this is, yeah, this is gonna, you know, something that, I don't know if I have a corrupted save game file or just what happened. What I don't understand is I've maxed my line, and I have this loan up here of 280, but it's at 0%, I don't know what this means. So what I'll be curious to see, I mean, it's obviously going to let me take out the loan. I don't know if this will let you have multiple loans. I don't know if this is the last loan I had. Well, I say obviously. Maybe it won't let me have it, but I'm going to try. Bink. Okay. Loan 7. Loan value 4. You know, it didn't appear to let me take 397. That's 400. I thought I'd borrowed 500. Didn't I borrow 500? It didn't seem to give me 500. yeah, I know there'll be a little bit of fees, but bank line 700, that's 500 plus the 200 loan value. You know, I think it only gave me 420. For whatever reason, it didn't give the whole. Now the two are equal. Yeah, there's something interesting going on. It added. There's the details. Edit loan. Yeah, this is just really curious. It is going to give me 30 days, though. Interestingly, at 6%, so it is out an extended period of time. Interesting. I just don't think that I got the full extra. It definitely dumped 500 in on top of it, but it only gave me 420 or so, it appears, because when I get, you know, my cash is only 397, which is, I think I was in the whole 7,000, so the app would put me at 400 and, well, let me see here, 400, okay, and then I had the 15 of fees, so that probably, yeah, 420 minus the 15 minus the 7 in the hole that I was equals 397, 930. That's got to be what it is. All right, so maybe what I need to do is, something just doesn't seem right. I'm contemplating giving myself an extra 100,000 because I know it added the full amount. So there must, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It doesn't appear to have given me all the money to which I'm entitled. Oh, whoops, except when I was in there. Let me come over here now and purchase the fields, and every single one of them I have to do some work. So here, let me see, got 12 I wanted, yeah, 74, and 21, where's 21? Oh, it's up top. That one, 23, put it over there, and the last 47. Alright, so I got a little bit more real estate. I would love to have number 16 up here. It's nice and flat, but it's one of the most expensive ones on the whole map. You know, it's over 400,000 if I recall. Oops, I must have gone past it. Yeah, 473. I just can't afford it. 15 would be nice to have. 186. Let me see, what's 24? Yeah, 24 is 81. Yeah, it's just quite a bit more expensive than here. So maybe in another round. Let me leave the bank. So we have those now. Since I should have made this decision before starting planting, but it is what it is. I've leased the planter. Oh yeah, I wanted to also purchase some sheep, and I think I was going to try to get up to 600, and I have 46. So I have quite a bit of sheep to buy, and I have a mod in here that's supposed to add several at once if I press and hold. So where does it say? You know what? That just isn't working, is it? Unless I press and hold up here. No, of course it's not. There's 47. There we go. Alright, press and hold. Oh, it starts going faster. And Jiminy. Oh, lovely. Alright, 300 a whack. Oh boy. This is one handy mod. I was worried I'd have to do this painstakingly. 4, 5, 500. My cash is going down rapidly. Okay. Animal's been purchased. Oh yes, thank you. So can I try to do this some more? I don't want it to speed up too much. I want to get up to 600 and call her quits. one more. Whew, 600 sheep, and I still have almost 30,000 in the bank. So that will help me afford some of the seed that I need and that kind of thing as I plant. And right now I have a full lineup, so let me come in here. Okay, door closed. Actually, go back to here. I need to get it out of the road. Oh no, I have 500,000 more in debt. Actually, technically, I'm 700,000 in debt. When I close this session here, recording session, I'm definitely going to add 100. I don't know how you all see it, but I feel shorted by the 100 and for about 100,000. You know, if it'd be one thing if they lowered the amount of the debt, but they didn't. So that just is the way it is. Alright, let me see how this works when I do some direct seeding. Gotta see, hopefully it doesn't. Sometimes when you do direct seeding, it... Okay, I'm getting canola. I think that's what I want to do. No, I don't want a ridge marker. The thing of it is, will I be able to tell where I'm going? Man, that's hard to see. That's going to be hard to see, folks. But you know what? Good enough. I think what it does is it gets rid of the little stubble bits. And if I go once around, then I'm going to set up GPS. And we'll let it do its magic as I try to plant these fields. This time I tried to hire the most powerful tractor that I could for this particular mod group, this group of 10 tractors. It's pulling this up the hill like a good feller. So hopefully that means I can keep my speed up and get through the planting season. You know, I see up there I have kind of wasted a little bit of time. Not wasted, as I pulled off a real estate deal here. But we'll see what I can get through in 4 hours of game time. You know, and speaking of using space and everything, you know, I look around the edge of the field, and maybe this isn't something you would do in Ireland or the UK or Scotland, but I am desperate for every square inch I can, you know, get my hands on. And so I have to wonder if a lot of my fields, this one here was arable before, or it came with the player, you know, when you started playing. So it was already formed. You know, a number of the other fields, I probably did this all wrong. A number of the other fields already, or I had to till up myself so I could drive as close to the edge, you know, as I wanted, you know, to make the field as large as I felt it needed to be. Let me try to get around here. I probably should have gone around twice to make it a little bit easier to turn around, but oh well, this will work. So maybe, I guess what I'm trying to say is, next time I come through, yeah, I don't need to do any changes on that edge, but maybe next time I plant, it'll be time to dig out the ripper, because it's been now several years here with, I think last time I may have just rolled it, this time I'm direct seeding. Sometimes, you know, I'll dig up the ripper to give the field a good tilling up, I guess equivalent to using the plow. Of course, it doesn't make any difference in the game doing that, not to our yields. You know, that wouldn't start making a difference until, I think, Farm Sim 17. So, but by bringing in the ripper, I can enlarge the field just a little bit. And you know, I bet it makes more of a difference than a guy would think. You know, because it's the whole outside edge, so it's going to be the long edge, and who knows how many liters it adds, but it'll add some. That's kind of rough on the equipment, what I just did. Well, what can I say? I'm renting it, so that'll be the dealership's problem. I can't even see if there's any damage registered on this, so... Right now we're getting it planted, and of course right on the heels of this I'll need to come through with the fertilizer spreader. So we got a lot to do in here today, and we have an enormous loan to pay back, and one reason I guess the bank was willing to let me take out such a loan was, one, I have a lot of property that we own. Of course, some of it's still encumbered, but two, I have a crop that I haven't sold yet either. So we got some wonderful bankers here in good old Gelvin Valley, and they let me spend some money, because I sure don't see any of our neighbors doing anything. But you know, maybe I need to check this out real quick. By the way, there was only a certain amount of feed that it would let me put in the sheep. Alright, here's 600 feeding trough. Alright, wool. 5,184. You know, I was reading some of the Lua code trying to figure out how much the sheep eat and how much they produce. And come to find out, I think each sheep will consume 20 liters of grass per day. So that's a lot of grass. 600 at 20 is at 12,000 liters. So basically a trailer load per day. And I think we can make that work. I think, in other words, you know, with the grass that we had up there, we got some bales to use up, so we're all set for feed, you know, for a little while. But even when we start running out of kind of what we've stored up, I think we should still be okay. Even with the tiny little pasture or whatever at Old Joe's farm that we've been cutting for grass for the sheep, that should be, I mean, each day it should rejuvenate. Hopefully, that's kind of what I'm banking on, and we should still be able to feed all of our sheep. And if we have to, we can go to that one other place. It's kind of down over the hill and sneak some grass off of it, even though it's kind of a pickle to get to. Oh, even the most powerful tractor, it just slows down a little on the hills. It does, it does. Can't do much about it. And you know, I don't recall which particular seeder we used last time. Oh man, there's so many episodes. I'd have to go back and look at the footage. I don't think it was this one, but I think it was the next size down. But honestly, I don't remember. I'm just happy to start getting it planted again. And you know, with more real estate, I mean, some other decisions, you know, I probably need to make too, which is, you know, as much as I love that Hillside Combine, I might have to get some larger equipment just to get through it quicker, and for one simple reason, and that is to hasten how quickly I can farm and get my loan paid back. You know, I'm just looking at my liters, my seed, it doesn't seem to go down. I was wondering if I had to lift the seeder each time, and it appears it doesn't expel any more seed when it isn't, it sends out seed only when you're planting on soil that hasn't been seeded. Well, the past couple episodes, we've visited about some things I'm trying in here in the map, some new things, all in the interest and hope of trying to make this farm profitable. And I just incurred a whole bunch more debt, but don't they say sometimes to make money you gotta have money, and right now we're using the bank's money. But we've talked through some of those changes. We've got some sheep going, and now we're just kind of replanting everything. And prior to this, I had spent several episodes talking about a summer job that I had before I worked, up in Lone Oak. Alright, I think we have this done. Oop, oh, gotta be careful. They don't charge me for the damage. That's maybe something that could be added with a mod, by the way. If you damage the rented equipment, they should be charging you more when you take it back. Alright, let's come here. I want to follow. Here we go. Turn on our indicator lights. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I need to rip up field 23 before I can plant anything in it. Otherwise, I would probably be heading over there, but I can't. So we're going to head up to 22. So that one I know has been set up. Alright, the other guy appears to be following. Oh, that car tipped on its... the follow guy is probably not going to go through that car. If I had to venture a guess, he's probably going to be polite. Can't even see him if he's coming. I'll be kind of curious to see if I can... Oh, except I can't see now. Heading down the valley to the field. Alright, there he comes. Yeah, he's probably going to be excessive. No, he's not. Look at that. All right, cool. He went through it. And, of course, I bombed out. Sorry. Should have kept it going, but I know I do need to turn up here, so we'll head in. Anyway, as I was saying, the episodes before the most recent ones, I was talking about another place that I worked. That was, let's see, had strawberries and apricots 1 year, and eventually ended up being a nursery and a sod farm, if you will. And by the way, those are two crops that I've never seen anybody do in Farming Simulator. Would love to do it if I had the skills, particularly like a sod harvester. I think that'd make for some interesting mods. But anyway, that's the farm that he had, and I spent a lot of time talking about irrigation woes and the place where he had farmed, which was an old mushroom plant. I say old, I guess it had been there a long time. But farming around there, and some of the, just lots of issues with irrigation. But other times of the year, I was just going to talk about some of the other things that we did. Here in Farming Sim, we spend so much time driving machinery, and so much of the crops that we do is adapted to machinery. I mean, even like the apple trees that we planted over there, you drive a tractor and a trailer, like you saw in the last episode, under the trees, and the apples just magically fall off the trees into the trailer. Well, in real life, of course, that doesn't happen. And maybe part of the reason it's that way in Farming Sim is there is no easy mechanism to have people pick fruit or that kind of thing. You know, there's a lot of tree fruits that you've seen come into the game, but you're kind of limited in how you handle that. Let me go. All right, our hero is coming up here. I think I want to take this off of follow. Oh, he parks me in the middle of the street. Let me get just up out of the way here. Park him again. Turn him off. We will continue with this planting canola. Oh my goodness. I forgot a bale up here. Good grief. Alright, this isn't going to be the best way of dealing with this, but I gotta somehow get it out of the way. I think I'll push it off the field. How did I leave a stinking bale up here? I must not have been paying attention when I was hauling the bales off. Anyway, that'll move it out of the way. Oh, shoot. And of course, I lifted the cedar, because I can't walk, talk, and chew bubble gum at the same time. Down she goes. Alright, here we go. Now we're planting again. So pre and post harvest, you know, there obviously was a lot of manual labor working on irrigation in the strawberries or whatever my uncle had that he wanted us to do. But another task that we had off season was just good old-fashioned weeding. And some of it he could take care of, you know, with the sprayer. But when you have a food crop, you need to be careful what kind of sprays you use, and there's certain times of the year. I mean, obviously you would never spray when you have fruit on there, and you know, because of the potential of hurting someone, and probably it's illegal too. You know, it's just too great. I mean, so nobody would do that. So there was a lot of, I don't even know if there were restrictions or whatever, but let me just say I spent a lot of time working for him operating a hand tool called a hoe. Nowadays, I think the farmers have less patience, you know, with high school students, or actually I would have been younger than high school at that point in time. Up to middle school is where I worked there. So I was really in grade school, and then through middle school worked for him there. Well, now I think they will hire crews in to do it, and you know, I gotta say, and maybe my uncle could have done it. Maybe he was trying to save some money by hiring some unskilled labor, but I think really a big part of it was simply the goodness of his heart in helping create a job for his nephews. You know, he was small, his operation was small at the time, and so a lot of the time out there was just my brother and I, and we'd be out there, you know, hoeing the berries or whatever to take it out, take out the weeds. And sometimes he'd hire some others, you know, some friends, cousins from church or whatever, and you know, we'd spend a day out there going through the fields. So looking back, you know, it was one way for him to help teach his nephews. You know, they always say it takes a village to raise a child, right? You know, I mean, how else do you learn how to work, you know, without getting a task handed to you, either by your parents or in this case a job? How else do you learn to work but by actually doing something and then being accountable for it? And, you know, as a kid, I mean, you're used to goofing off, having fun, and I gotta say, I did not really enjoy weeding. And I guess it kind of depended on it. I mean, a lot of it was, well, it was hard work. And you know, when the strawberry plants grew up, and it, you know, it just got difficult to get weeds out of there, and you spent less time using the hoe, you know, where you could kind of stand up and do it. and you spent more time pulling it, kind of bent over with your hands in the bushes, because you didn't want to pull out, any strawberry plants, of course. So you only wanted to get the weeds, and yeah, so I mean, I can't say it was my favorite task, but a necessary one, and we didn't always do a very good job. And some of it too, there's the concept of efficiency. How hard do you work in terms of how many you take out? And, in other words, do you get just the tall ones? Do you leave some? Or do you try to get every doggone weed? And in doing that, you end up taking way more time, than what you really should. So I know there's kind of a happy balance in there somewhere. And I don't think we always hit it. I think to my uncle, he would have liked us to get every last weed, but I think he also understood, that was virtually impossible. But, I mean, that's kind of the role of a boss, maybe. I mean, to push the employees, to do what they otherwise maybe wouldn't do on their own. So, my goodness, I just heard the bell go. Man, it's amazing how quickly 30 minutes can pass. I gotta put the thing down. I should just leave it down, and then I don't have to worry about it. So this one here, we'll try to tackle the hill going across it. I think that'll work out okay. Seems to be going fairly quickly here to work on these fields. So these hands have done a fair bit of weeding, and nowadays, I mean, if I weed, it's nothing to weed the garden or something, in a few hours or whatever, depending on how long you let it go. But anymore, I don't work at physical labor anymore in my occupation, so my hands, I call them my lily white accountant hands. I gotta say, when I go out and weed now, it takes a piece of them, and a lot of times, I'll try to put on some gloves, but even if I forget, I mean, it can just tear my hands apart, trying to do all that, gripping the weeds, to pull them out. I mean, that was something they always said, pull them out by their roots, or deal with them when they're little, and then you don't gotta deal with them when they're big. Lots of life lessons and all that too, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I'm damaging this planter, I think. But anyway, significant time spent weeding. So I think I'm going to turn the episode off here. Thank you so much for coming along. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.